let's talk about bathroom rules. Yes, about bathroom rules, and we will talk it from hadith. I want to say, I promise you, this is gonna give you new vision. It's gonna open your eyes, all those kind of things. But well, nothing is surprising in Islam, right? So it might even lead where you think it is leading, or it might go some another direction. Nothing is surprising in here. So here's the hadith, narrated by Abu Huraira, that once he was in the company of the Prophet carrying a water pot for ablution and cleaning his private parts. While he was following him carrying the pot, the Prophet said, "Who is this?" He said, "I am Abu Huraira." The Prophet said, "Bring me stones in order to clean my private parts, and do not bring any bones or animal dung." Abu Huraira went on narrating, "So I brought some stones, carrying them in the corner of my robe until I put them by his side and went away. When he finished, I walked with him and then asked, 'What about the bone and animal dung?' He said, 'They are the food of genies.' The delegate of genies of the city of Nasibin came to me, and how nice those genies were, and then asked me for the remains of the human food. I invoke Allah for them, that they would never pass by the bone or animal dung, but find food on them." So what we have here, on surface, it's pretty ordinary moment, right? You and your friend are walking, and then they ask you to grab something for, let's say, restroom. Today we would say, "Go and grab me toilet paper." Back then it was stones. Nothing surprising there. So far, let's say nothing is unusual. But then comes the specific instructions, right? "Don't bring me bones. Don't bring me animal poop. Just bring me stones." Fair enough, fair enough. Abu Huraira goes and then brings stones. But naturally, he asked the obvious question, right? Well, why not bones? Why not dung? You might expect practical answers. Something like, "Oh, it's not hygiene, safety, or some basic common sense. Maybe bones are too sharp. It might hurt when a man is cleaning his private parts, or woman, doesn't matter. Animal poop is unclean. It's not gonna clean those areas. Even it's gonna make your hand messy. All those kind of things, right? That would make sense. But that's not the answer. Instead, reason is given here is, those are the food for the genies. Let that sink in. The explanation isn't about cleanness. It isn't about health. It is about genies, invisible beings. According to narration, apparently they eat bones and animal poop. Unique knowledge of Muhammad just makes you wonder and then wonder. And the story even goes further, right? A group of genies supposedly visited Muhammad. Fellowships are important. You want to know who is your friend. You want to spend time with them. You want them to come and visit you. You want to go and visit them. In this one of those occasions, so genies comes and then visit Muhammad. And then, of course, ask for food. "I am hungry. I came all the way." What Muhammad does, he prays, and bones and animal poops become their food. So humans are told not to use these things, not because they are dirty, but because they are belong to someone else. That's the logic. And that logic itself is just mind-blowing, right? Those of you who are kind of dealing with these serious questions, like such as, is this really divine wisdom grounded in reality, all those kind of things. Because here, bones and animal droppings are described as food for genies. You know what? Nothing surprising there, and because it gets interesting. There is another narration, narrated Abdullah ibn Sarjis. Prophet forbidden to urinate in holes. Qatada was asked about the reason for the disapproval of urinating in a hole. He replied, "It is said that these holes are the habitats of the jinns. So don't urinate in holes." Why? Because those holes are places where genies live. It's their home, it's their houses. It's very logical, right? You don't take your dog out for a walk and then your dog poos on or pees on someone else's garden. Very logical there. So those apparently holes are the house for genies. So if you ever, let's say, relieved yourself in a hole, you may have just disturbed the genies. They are the resident there. Think about that for a moment. Did Muhammad really believe jinns live in holes in the ground? So now put everything together. Jinn lives in holes. They eat bones and animal drops, and you are told to not interfere with either of them. In other words, the bathroom has roommates, invisible roommates, who are apparently eating leftovers you definitely and definitely don't want to eat. Now imagine explaining this to someone today. Hey, don't pee there. Don't pee that in that hole. Person says, why? Well, something might live there, and it might be, they might be eating, they might be having fellowship. Imagine if these halls are the house for genies. They might have guests, they might be inviting people, they might having big parties, right? Last thing you want to do is peeing there and then disturbing them. You don't want to disturb them. You don't want to disturb your neighborhood either. So that sound is just less like hygiene and more like warning from the haunted, let's say, campsite, right? Now, to be fair, yes, using stones instead of animal drops makes sense, right? And we should be grateful that Muslims are using stones today instead of animal drops. That part is kind of reasonable, but that is not the reason given. The reason is animal drops are genie's food, not bacteria, not germs, not health, but gene. So the reasoning isn't this is cleaner, it is you might disturb something invisible. And notice something else. The instructions isn't don't use animal drops because it's dirty. No, no, no. It is don't use it because it's someone else's food and they might be using it. That's the very different kind of reasoning. So here's the real question. Is this what we expect from the Prophet of God? Teaching bathroom etiquettes based on what unseen creatures are eating? And if this is meant to be divine guidance, what are we supposed to do with it today? Because when most people walk into bathroom, they are thinking, is this clean? Is this safe? Not am I about to interrupt the jinn's lunch? And just in case, maybe don't use that hole. It might already be occupied. Oh, seriously, there is no sense in Islam. There is no sense in Islam.